If you're over 60 and taking supplements to boost your health, I want to ask you something that might sound a little shocking. What if the very pills you take every morning, the ones you believe are strengthening your immune system, are actually doing the opposite? What if that vitamin D you've trusted for years, or that high-dose zinc everyone swears by, is quietly draining your vitality, interfering with medications, or even setting the stage for chronic inflammation? Sounds dramatic, I know, but stay with me, because once you understand the truth behind how these popular supplements really work in an aging body, you'll see why so many seniors are unknowingly sabotaging their own health, and more importantly, how you can stop doing it too. If you've ever asked yourself, why do I still get sick even though I take all the right vitamins? Or why am I tired and achy despite spending hundreds on supplements? This video is going to answer those exact questions. Before we dive in, go ahead and subscribe, because this channel is here to give you science-backed, clear-cut health info that actually makes a difference, especially for people who want to age with energy, confidence, and clarity. Now, let's start with something that's become practically sacred in the world of senior health: vitamin D. If you're like most older adults, you've probably been told that vitamin D is essential for your bones, your immune system, even your mood, and that's not wrong. Vitamin D is vital, but here's what almost no one tells you. Taking it at the wrong time of day, or in the wrong form, or in the wrong dose, can backfire big time. First, let's talk dosage. Many seniors take high-dose vitamin D, 5,000 IU, 10,000 IU, even more, thinking that more must be better, especially if a blood test once showed they were low. But here's the thing: vitamin D is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it. Unlike water-soluble vitamins like B and C, which you pee out if you take too much, fat-soluble vitamins can build up to toxic levels. Now you might be thinking, well, I feel fine and I've been taking it for years. But that's the trap. Vitamin D toxicity doesn't show up in ways that scream emergency. It's sneaky. It starts with things like calcium imbalance, kidney strain, or persistent fatigue. And when you're older, your kidneys are already working harder. Adding excess vitamin D, especially without balancing it with vitamin K2 and magnesium, can quietly stress your system. And here's another twist: your body doesn't absorb vitamin D well without fat. So if you're taking it with a light breakfast, or worse, on an empty stomach, it might not even be doing much for you at all. Meanwhile, it's still being stored, and you're still thinking it's helping. So what should you do instead? First, know your numbers. Get your levels tested. Don't guess. Second, always pair vitamin D with K2 and magnesium. Why? Because vitamin K2 helps direct calcium to your bones, not your arteries, and magnesium helps activate vitamin D itself. Without them, you could be increasing calcification where you least want it, like your blood vessels. Now, let's move to zinc. Zinc is a powerhouse mineral. It plays a central role in immune defense. But here's what a lot of people don't know, especially older adults who are more likely to be taking multiple medications. Zinc competes with copper for absorption. When you take zinc for too long, especially in high doses, it can deplete your copper levels. And copper is essential for your cardiovascular system, for your brain, for your connective tissue. A long-term zinc-copper imbalance can trigger anemia-like symptoms, fatigue, even immune suppression, the very thing you're trying to prevent. You see where I'm going with this? Supplements are tools. They're not benign. They affect your body in profound ways, especially as you age, and your metabolism, digestion, and cellular repair mechanisms all shift. So the same supplement that might have helped you in your 30s could be working against you in your 60s or 70s. Let's talk next about one of the most popular categories of supplements for seniors: antioxidants. Specifically vitamins A, C, and E. These have been marketed for decades as immune boosters and anti-aging champions. And yes, in controlled doses, they can be helpful, but more is not always better. Let's take vitamin E as an example. It's fat-soluble, just like vitamin D, and in high doses, it's been linked to an increased risk of prostate cancer in men and hemorrhagic stroke in both sexes. That's not theory. That's peer-reviewed science. And here's the kicker: if you're already eating a diet rich in colorful fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats, then you're probably getting enough antioxidants already. Adding more through high-dose pills can upset the balance. Some studies have even shown that taking large doses of antioxidants can blunt the benefits of exercise. Yes, you heard that right, because exercise creates a small amount of oxidative stress, which is actually a good thing. It triggers your body's own natural antioxidant defenses. When you drown those signals with artificial antioxidants, you might be blocking the very mechanism that helps you adapt, grow stronger, and boost immunity. So what's the solution? Focus on food first. Real, whole food. Supplements should be exactly what the word says, supplemental, not foundational. And when you do use them, do it with intention and context. For example, instead of taking isolated vitamin E, consider a mixed tocopherol complex. Instead of megadoses of vitamin C, aim for lower doses taken throughout the day, which mimic the way you'd get it from food. Now let's go deeper. Let's talk about probiotics. You've heard they're good for your gut. Maybe you take one every day. But here's the mistake a lot of people make. They take the same probiotic blend, day in and day out, without knowing if it's the right strain or if it's even alive. Many probiotics on the shelf are dead before you ever open the bottle, especially if they weren't stored properly. And even if they are alive, they might not be suited for your specific gut microbiome. Not all probiotics are equal, and not every strain helps with immunity. Some strains support digestion. Others support mental health. Others fight specific pathogens. So taking a random probiotic without knowing your needs can be like throwing seeds into sand and hoping something grows. Plus, if your diet is high in sugar, processed carbs, or artificial sweeteners, you're feeding the bad bacteria, not the good. That means your expensive probiotic may be fighting a losing battle. If you really want to support your immune system through gut health, focus on two things. First, prebiotics. Fiber-rich foods that feed your good bacteria. Think onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, flax seeds. Second, variety. Rotate your probiotic strains every few months. Better yet, get a stool test through a functional medicine practitioner to understand your microbiome. It's like switching from guessing to knowing. And now let's address one supplement that's often overlooked, but wildly popular among seniors. Calcium, usually recommended for bone health. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Calcium supplements have been linked to an increased risk of cardiovascular disease in some studies. Why? Because when you flood the bloodstream with calcium, especially in large isolated doses, it can end up depositing in your arteries instead of your bones. Just like with vitamin D, balance is everything. Your body needs magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2 to guide that calcium to the right places. Too often people think of bone health as a calcium issue, but it's not. It's a matrix issue. Your bones are living tissue, constantly remodeling. They need protein. They need movement. They need resistance training. Taking calcium alone won't build bone. It just adds material. You need the blueprint, the builders, and the supervisors. Without them, you're just piling bricks without a plan. And here's one last piece that's rarely talked about. Your stomach acid. As we age, stomach acid tends to decline. That makes it harder to absorb nutrients like B12, magnesium, calcium, and iron, just to name a few. So if you're taking all these supplements and not absorbing them properly, not only are they ineffective, but they may build up in the wrong places. Worse yet, many seniors are on acid-blocking medications like proton pump inhibitors or H2 blockers, which further reduce stomach acid. If you've been on one of those medications long-term, your nutrient absorption could be drastically compromised, and your immune function right along with it. So what do you do? First, don't panic. This isn't about throwing out your supplements. It's about learning how to use them wisely. Second, talk to a healthcare provider who actually understands nutrition. Not every doctor has this training, so look for someone who practices integrative or functional medicine. And third, start tuning into your body. Notice how you feel when you take certain supplements. Keep a journal. Ask questions. Be curious. If you're over 50 and your joints ache when you get out of bed, go upstairs or just try to enjoy a walk. It's not your age, and it's not your fault. The real issue? Your body's running out of a natural substance that cushions your joints like a shock absorber. And most supplements out there, glucosamine, collagen, all of it, don't fix this. But now, researchers have discovered a breakthrough that can actually restore what your joints are missing. And people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s are seeing real relief. If you're feeling stiff, sore, or weaker lately, stop guessing. Check the link in the pinned comment now. You're still here, which tells me you're the kind of person who genuinely wants to take control of your health. Not just follow trends, but understand what really works. That matters. Because when it comes to supplements, especially for older adults, we're not just talking about filling nutritional gaps. We're talking about making choices that shape how your body heals, defends itself, and ages. So let's keep going. Let's uncover the next mistakes so many seniors make with supplements and how you can start using them to actually enhance your immune system, not weaken it. Let's talk about multivitamins, the catch-all pill that's supposed to give you everything you need in one go. On the surface, that sounds convenient, but convenience can come at a cost. Most store-bought multivitamins, especially the cheap, mass-market kinds, contain synthetic versions of nutrients that your body doesn't absorb well. In some cases, they even contain forms of vitamins that your body has to convert before using, and that process slows down with age. For example, the synthetic form of vitamin B9 is folic acid, but your body needs folate. And converting folic acid into usable folate requires an enzyme that many people, especially those with certain genetic variations, don't produce efficiently. What does that mean for you? It means you might be taking a multivitamin thinking it's helping your brain, your heart, your immune system, but in reality, it might be building up unmetabolized compounds in your body, causing more harm than good. And this buildup has been associated in some research with increased risks of certain cancers and neurological issues. Another problem? Most multivitamins contain iron, and unless you've been diagnosed with iron deficiency anemia, that's usually not something you need as you age. In fact, excess iron can accumulate in organs and contribute to oxidative stress, especially in men and postmenopausal women. Think of it like rust inside your body, speeding up cellular aging, damaging tissues, and putting strain on your immune system. If you're taking a multivitamin with iron, and you haven't been told to do so based on a blood test, that little habit could be undermining everything you're doing to protect your health. Let's shift gears and talk about omega-3 supplements, specifically fish oil. These are wildly popular for brain health, heart health, and yes, immune support. And they do have some incredible benefits. But here's the mistake. Most people don't pay attention to the freshness of their fish oil. Omega-3 fats are extremely prone to oxidation, meaning they go rancid quickly. And when they oxidize, they don't just lose their benefit, they become harmful. That fishy burp you sometimes get after taking a fish oil capsule, that's often a sign it's gone rancid. Rancid oils increase inflammation, not reduce it. And inflammation, as you already know, is the silent engine behind almost every disease of aging. Heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, even cancer. So if you're taking fish oil, make sure it's third-party tested for oxidation and purity. Look for terms like molecularly distilled, and always store it in a cool, dark place. Better yet, keep it in the fridge. And if you want an alternative, consider fresh, wild-caught fatty fish, like salmon or sardines, 2 to 3 times per week. Real food first, always. Now let's go deeper into something most people never think about: timing. The time of day you take a supplement can change everything. For example, magnesium is a supplement many seniors take to support muscle function, heart rhythm, and sleep. But if you take magnesium in the morning, you may not get the full benefit for sleep. That's because magnesium naturally calms the nervous system. Take it too early, and you might waste its most relaxing effects. Take it at night, and it can help promote deeper, more restorative sleep. It's not just about what you take, but when. On the flip side, B vitamins like B6 and B12 help boost energy and brain function. So if you're taking a multivitamin or B complex at night, you could be sabotaging your sleep. These vitamins are stimulating. You want them in the morning with food to mimic your body's natural circadian rhythm. Simple switch, but it can make a huge difference in how you feel. And here's a fascinating layer. Some supplements can interact with your prescription medications in ways that actually suppress immune function. Let me give you a few common examples. Calcium, for instance, can interfere with the absorption of thyroid medication. Certain antibiotics and even blood pressure drugs. If you're taking these meds and popping a calcium pill with your breakfast, you might be reducing the effectiveness of your medication without even knowing it. St. John's wort is another one. It's a natural herb used for mood support, but it can drastically reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners, antidepressants, and even cancer treatments by accelerating how your liver clears these drugs. Now, I'm not saying St. John's wort is bad, but if you don't know how it interacts with your meds, it can become dangerous. This is why it's essential to treat supplements with the same respect and scrutiny as pharmaceuticals. They're not harmless, they're powerful, and power needs direction. And here's the million-dollar question you might be asking yourself right now. So what should I be taking? The truth is, that depends on your individual needs. But there are a few simple principles that apply to everyone. Start with your food. Supplements can never replace a poor diet. Think of your meals as your primary medicine. Focus on fiber-rich plants, omega-3 rich fish, healthy fats like olive oil and avocados, and plenty of water. That alone builds a strong foundation. Get your blood tested regularly. Don't guess your levels, know them. Test for vitamin D, B12, magnesium, iron, and inflammation markers like CRP. Then supplement based on data, not assumptions. Simplify. The more supplements you take, the more complex your interactions become. Start with the essentials based on your deficiencies. Give your body time to adjust. More pills don't equal more health. Listen to your body. If a supplement makes you feel worse, don't just push through. Track your energy, your digestion, your sleep, your mood. These are your body's data points, and they often speak louder than any blood test. Talk to a provider who understands nutrition and aging. Someone who won't just write a prescription, but will help you map a strategy to feel vibrant again. And above all else, trust this: your body is not broken. Aging doesn't mean decline, it means change. And when you give your body the right inputs, at the right time, in the right way, it responds. Every cell, every tissue, every system wants to heal. It just needs the right conditions. So as you go back to your medicine cabinet tomorrow morning, don't just reach for that bottle on autopilot. Pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me, or just part of a routine I haven't questioned? Because now you have the knowledge. You have the power to decide what goes into your body and what stays out. And if you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 99% of people. You're not here for fluff. You're here to understand, to grow, to thrive. And that's exactly what this channel is here to support. If you want to keep learning about how to make smarter, safer choices that actually help your body heal, you don't want to miss what's on screen now. Go ahead, click that next video. Your future self will thank you.